Mother died today, or maybe yesterday. I can't be sure. Have you ever got the sense that you are fundamentally alienated from other people? That despite all your attempts to connect, you cannot find someone you have a real companionship with? No matter what you do and no matter how hard you try, there is always some barrier that separates you from other people. You seem to be different, but not in a way that sparks joy or pride, but instead one that just makes you feel terrifyingly alone. I would
Let that sink in for a moment. I don't know how many of us have truly asked ourselves that question. If you are someone who has not asked yourself that question, I highly encourage you to. And this video from Unsolicited Advice on why you are so goddamn lonely is a pretty amazing one that will make yourself ask questions that you've never asked before. Although the title might seem extremely pessimistic or nihilistic, it really is not. It's the philosophical ideology is titled as absurdism, coined by Albert Camus. Although I do not have a deeper understanding of philosophy, I have had a fair share of me going on rabbit holes. Alright, we got our first viewer. One of my friends, I believe. You can see the chat. Hey, next guy, yes. Hello, my friend. Love absurdism, yes. Alright, let's begin. As promised, I'll be starting DSA today. There's a large contingent of people in tech who hates DSA. In fact, almost everybody who works at tech hates it, due to the fact that no real contribution would be made to the real world, and DSA is simply not stimulating enough for people to take it seriously. But despite that, it's kind of do or die when it comes to tech interview. You either learn data structures and algorithm after dropping your ego and get yourself a nice cushy job, or you never learn data structures and algorithm and proceed to get a mediocre job. By mediocre, I mean one with less pay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. No plans though. Like I said in the first stream, I'll just be going over this huge list. I really hope to complete at least 1/3 of the list within the next 7 months, because after that my campus drive would start, and I gotta be ready before that. So our primary goal would be to complete at least till binary trees. If you're watching, I really want to know whether the audio quality is good, because the mic went a little bit finicky and I had to really break my head trying to fix it. So if you are watching Popsicle, so let me know whether the audio works and how good the audio is. Audio is good, bruv. Thanks. Sure. So we added this GIF. Brain.gif, by the way. Which software are you using, by the way, for streaming? I'm using OBS for streaming, if that's what you're asking about. I can show you my audio. Okay. Just the mic, built-in mic, and some with some filters in OBS. I've added this noise suppression filter so it wouldn't pick my fan noise up. That's it, man. So yeah, the latest sub is going to have your name for, I don't know, it will have your name for at least the next couple of months, maybe even 6 months to a year, who knows. I don't plan to advertise it or share this channel more than you guys, besides you guys. So the stream is gonna carry your name for at least, for the next 6 months maybe. Alright, let's get started. Funnily enough, the last stream got a bunch of copyright strikes because of all the I Have No Enemy songs that I played. So this time we won't be playing much of copyright music. Okay, let me open my Visual Studio Code real quick. So what are you up to, man? What are you up to, Popsicle? You gonna work along with me, do something, or just have this while you watch something else, or have fun? Minecraft modded with this stream. Nice. Just came back from tuition. Cool. Which one though? You have got a bunch of mods installed, or is it just a single mod pack? All of Fabric mod pack. Good stuff. Yep. Good stuff. So the choice of data structures and algorithm, the language choice, I have chosen Python, contrary to what most people pick, because most people would either pick C++ or Java. They hesitate to pick Python despite Python being the easiest of them all to do DSAN because of the FOMO that they have. Because at the start of their career, people optimize for getting a job rather than what's better for the long term. So because Indian market has a lot of jobs for Java, a lot of people pick Java instead of something like Python or something else, JavaScript or whatever, to do DSAN. DSA hasn't been so language agnostic. Doesn't. Big fan, sir. Cool, man. Hey, greetings to you too. What are you doing this stream? Would you be doing something productive or something else? I don't know, man. It feels very funny because I know you guys personally, but I can't explicitly say things. Yeah, shout out to Vinay Verma. Go follow his channel. He'll be streaming as well. The concept of understanding is what matters, I guess. Absolutely. Concept of understanding is what matters. And as far as FAANG companies are concerned, companies like Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, language doesn't matter. But when you optimize for job, it is better if you would pick Java because it's very high likely that you would get a job straight out of college. The reason I have picked Python is because I simply do not care. And after you end number one, number two, I absolutely hate the syntax of Java. I have tried it, trust me. And yeah, besides that, if you're looking for long term, it doesn't matter. So that's why I've chosen Python. So, anyways, yeah, I've got two different scenes here. One is the full display, and another one is with the overlays. Which one do you guys think is better? This one, the one with the full display, or the one with overlays and brain rot gifs? Left. I don't know. Did he, or possibly the stream does not update? I guess he did. I like the overlay. Cool one. Although I feel like if you are watching it in a mobile, I don't think you can really read what's there on the shared screen. But yeah, we'll go with the overlay. But also, yeah, it is going to be like this with one viewer or zero viewer for at least, I'm predicting next couple of quarters. So I guess till next January it will be like this. That is assuming if I post consistently. If I do post consistently, like I have been for the past couple of days, I feel like YouTube would push my content more and random people would find my channel. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I won't be publicizing it anymore to my friends or the people I know, because I'm gonna focus on organic growth rather than going after numbers and falling short. All right, let's begin. So this is a plan. We've got this sheet here, DSA sheet, which apparently is the go-to Bible for people trying to learn data structures and algorithm. Basically, we just sit through and use your willpower to go through maybe like 70-80% of all of this. By virtue of that, you are going to become stronger in DSA, and by virtue of that, you will get a job. It's a matter of will. I feel like we as computer science engineering students have it easier than other field because there's no concept of hand holding for their field. If you are someone like a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer, you've got to make it into a great college in order to become successful in your domain. But it's not necessary for our field. There are a bunch of, you hear stories of people without CS degrees making into the fancy companies. I feel like we as computer science students really are blessed to be in this field that is so forgiving and that is so full of, and that keeps offering you second chances. Doesn't matter what age that you begin, like people who start coding later in their 20s or early 30s would make it bigger in the tech field, would definitely get cushy jobs. All right, let's begin. I'm just going to play some music and we're going to grind through. I don't think I need to comment or give commentary over what I'm doing because it ain't much. And also, I don't think I can make it any more entertaining than what I'm already saying. Yeah, let's play some music and let's just grind. Right, I will. Chat box. Done. I guess now it works. All right. So the first question is unusually, surprisingly harder than I expected because it's asking me to construct a couple of constructors. I know how weird that sentence sounds, but gotta use some object oriented programming to solve that. But I feel like we need to get some easy points on the board rather than trying to solve a question like this first. So maybe I've decided to come back to it later and go with the next question. So I feel like it's relatively easy. I think the fastest way to solve any kind of problem would be to directly jump into what the inputs and the outputs are, what the input, what the program is getting as input, and what it spits as output. So we'll do just that. So if you input character, the output should be 1 because the size of character is 1. But let's just make sure that if the size is actually 1 for Python as well. So step 1 problems dot py. So if I remember correctly, this size of something like a would fetch us the output for this. Interesting, size of is not defined, so it is not size of function is different. Size of in py. Size of method and get size of method are both used to get the size of the objects of the program. How do I determine the size of an object? Get size of. But I do remember something like size of function existing in Python. Maybe I'm missing something. The fuck? Fuck. I am doing that. Are you doing that as well? I do know how to use constructors. It's basically just I mean, I have a loose idea on how to use constructor. I just skipped the first problem because it was too daunting so to start that with. I was just curious what you're doing. Yeah, okay. I am doing the data type problem. Oh snap. Flip. Everything vanished. One moment. Yeah, I am doing that problem where we need to get the data type of as input. We get self and it just says one of these. I know how it stores. So it's, if we give something like self.name equal to how do I fetch the name of it? Oh flip. Print self. Let's go with print self to see how it looks like. Print self would hopefully give us whatever is stored there. How do I submit the code? Beautiful. Compile and run. Control plus quotation mark. That does not work. All right. Print of self. What does it throw us? Throws us an error, of course. I think I can figure this out. Wait a minute. How do you get the type of variable? Oh, you just need to do type of instead of printing it. So this should work. Type function, yeah, type function. Wait, this did not work the first time. Interesting, I didn't. Okay, it does work. But when I do get size of type of A, it does not work. But I don't think we need to focus on this because that's not what was asked for us. What I'm trying to do is, if I get a variable with integer, I'm trying to get the size of the data type. So when I get a equal to 10, I'm getting the system.get size of type of a. So what I expect the output is something like 4 because size of integer is 4. But I don't get the size of type of a. Instead, I get what a stores, if that makes sense. But what I want is what is the size of the type of the variable. I don't think that this thing is necessary to solve this problem, because what we get as an input is basically a name, like character. We get a string like character, integer, or double. So we can just use simple if statements. But that's pretty brute force way of solving it. Oh, self comma str. Okay. All right. So that's how you do it. So if I do something like self.str equal to name, and I print my name, I will get that totally went over my head that this existed. I don't know if you guys can see the screen. Can you see the code editor clearly? Can you see this text, or is it too small? Let me know. So yeah, that totally went over my head. Cool. So we got str here. So self.str would fetch us whatever string that we have gotten, and I'm storing it in name, and I'm printing the name. So this should very interesting. Name not defined. All right. It should be self.name equal to whatever string I'm getting instead of the other way around. Hopefully this gives me character or something. It does not work. Self.str equal to str. I did give self.str. Self.str equal to str. We'll try that. Oops, screen switched. Or just print str. All right, we'll try this first. Okay, it doesn't work. Self.str equal to str. Okay, so it should be what Popsicle says. It should be printf str. It is printf str. So I get what happened. That string is completely different. It doesn't belong to the self attribute. Yeah, that works, man. It was just that simple. Um, but I get what happened. Why self.name equal to str or why self.str equal to str did not work because str does not, it's not part of the self object. It's a completely separate entity. Right, nice. We're learning something. We're learning very little. I'm learning very little, but any progress is a progress. So basically, I just need to print what even is self. So self is something like self denotes the object itself. So if you have classes and you can create objects, if I'm not wrong, let me explain what self means. If I'm not wrong, you got classes and you got objects. Objects can have any number of name. So if you have class called as 12th grade, you can have something like section A as an object, section B as an object. But because the object name changes every time, you need some placeholder name to mention that object. So you want some common name for all the different, because the programmer can give any name to the object variable. So you want some placeholder name for that object variable. So if I remember correctly, that's what self is for. Self is so that you can mention that variable. So yeah. So I guess print get size of would just give us, or it wouldn't. I don't know. Like if the brute force way would be to just simply use if statement. I guess if statement is the only way because the str itself is a string. So if str equals character, print 1. Oh, why does it say 1? For Java, it would be 2 bytes, huh? Explanation. This is pretty stupid. Whatever is here. Alright. So, and then just else if the shit out of the. There should be a better way to do it. We'll do the brute force and we'll find the better way to do it. Integer, if I remember correctly, it's 4. I guess float is also 4. So 1 is long and 1 will be double. And now we need to know what the sizes of data types are. Size of data types in Python. It's 8 bytes, not 4. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. So byte size is 1, short is 2, int is 4, long is 8, float is 4, double is 8. Character is 2, surprisingly. We'll ignore that for now. So long is 8 and double is 8. This should work. Of course, man. Expected word. Line 16. Oh, it's not else if, it's elif. Else if is Java syntax. Ah. Happens to the best of us. Absolute senior programmer moment, my friend. Should not be print, I guess. It should be return. It also mentioned that for invalid inputs, it should return -1. Does work. Your output -1. Okay, we need a spelling error. What happened when you used print? Print for what? Print for what? Alright, so it works. Sort of works. Officially solved one problem, I guess. Print instead of return in the def. It did not work, my friend. Printing does not work. It expected me to return. I only saw it at the last moment. That it says return -1. And it says return here as well. Returns the size of data type. So it should not print. I feel like this is pretty common for all the problems. So we need to remember that we should not, more often than not, we would be required to return the output rather than printing the output. It did work. So there goes. First problem, man. First problem. Only like 999 to go before I get a job. Alright, so we need to trying to think. Good job, dude. I got you a cake in Minecraft. Thanks, my friend. Okay, question. Is it a better idea to look for an optimized solution, or should I go to a different problem? What do you think, Popsy and Hemant? I could look for optimized solution, or when I ask commented chalk, I don't know what that means. Do you feel like optimizing? Hemant has the same doubt. Chocolate. Thanks. Instead of optimizing, what if I've got a Notion page where I'll be noting down the problems that I've solved for the day. I think it's cooler to optimize. It is cooler to optimize, but wouldn't it make much sense to leave this here? Yeah, not worth for this problem. I could leave it here, note it down on the Notion page, and then revisit it a couple of days later. So in that way, this solution I would also recollect this solution that I've done here, and also the optimized one as well. That way, I guess it would stick in my long-term memory for a long time. I guess I know how to optimize it as well. You need to get the string, and instead of doing the if else, it's sort of, it's like this. You should somehow, you do something like type of character or something. Let's take it for now. Let's take the first problem done. Should I go for the first problem of the step one? And it feels daunting again. I'll put it on hold for now. Congrats, what does it say? Okay, I missed the pop-up. If else statements. Alright. Alright, problem number 2 of the day, of the night. This is much simpler than I thought because it doesn't need any us meddling with self function. Extremely trivial. Just ask us to compare two variables. So just extremely rudimentary. I feel like this is a waste of time doing it in and of itself. But hey, get those easy wins. return equal. It just asks us to compare two variables, and if they are equal, we need to return equal. If it's lesser, we need to return lesser. If it's greater, we need to return greater. Extremely trivial. It's a statement I wouldn't be saying a couple of weeks from now. Yeah, start from basic math question. It is intriguing. Yes, absolutely. Sure. I mean, okay, how much should I? Okay, there are no questions for patterns. Funny thing is, I've done. I think I've done 6 out of 7 of those in school when I was in 11th or 12th grade. I could move ahead, but I don't feel like sleeping anytime soon, so maybe if I sleep at 11:30, I feel like I would make it to basic math regardless. And yeah, then skip and go to recursion. I could. That would be optimal, but I feel like getting some easier points on the board. Get those wins first to build the momentum. And as you've seen, I forgot the syntax for else if as well. I typed elif as else if because of Java syntax. I'll speed run through the problems. So problem 2 is done. Hemant, are you solving problems as well? Are you doing Leetcode as well?
Well, what are we waiting for? Gonna paint our wagon, gonna paint it good. We ain't ready.
It's definitely Vinay, man. Please. Let me just focus. I could probably have a better focus session without live streaming, my friends. Could probably have a better focus session off the camera, off the stream. Alright, fourth problem of the day, I guess. The third problem. Given an integer choice denoting the choice of the user and a list containing the single value R or two values. L and B, sure, I will. And B depending on the choice. Alright. Thanks, Kiseki Tempest. User choice is 1, calculate the area of the circle. Else, if the user choice is 2, calculate the area of the rectangle with the given L and B. A list of array containing the single value R or the two values L and B as the parameters. Return the area of the desired geometrical figure. Use math.py for the value of pi. Interesting. Another rudimentary problem. If choice is 1, you gotta find the area of the circle. Do I need to import math? If choice equals 1, return math.py. Area of circle is pi r square, so math.py into r into r. Or I might be wrong. A list array containing single value ARR. Okay, so it should be ARR of 0 times ARR of 0. I think we can go for else because we don't have more than two choices. So else the return math we don't need, we just need length into breadth. So area of 0 times area. What concept is red example of? When you are speaking to another music, what concept is red example of? What is red? What are red, yellow, blue, green, orange, etc.? What does that mean? Are you asking me the definition of colors or? Okay, man, sure. Go for round. Oh, in the chat, it means nothing. It just auto assigns the colors. American spot. I'm pretty sure Vinay cannot get the joke. Alright, another problem done. I don't think I can say the same thing a week or two from now because it will be harder. Okay, fourth problem is done. What are arrays and strings? I don't need to know that. I'll just mark it as done. For loops. Oh, I already know for loops, but Nah, man. You guys do the knock knock joke. Oh. This concept becomes incredibly useful when you're working with multidimensional data structures like 2D arrays. Coding ninjas. I don't need. God, do I need to sign up for this as well? Not going to sign up for coding ninjas because I see no other problems linking me to that website. Yo, I'm live. Interesting, my friend. One of my viewers decided to watch my stream, gets bored, and has gone ahead, created his own channel to stream himself. Go to channel. I'm going to outstream you both. Interesting. Vinay has uploaded topological sorting using BFS. Sure, man, for sure. Yeah. Let me log into this website. figure out whether this formula applies for the sequence starting from 0 or sequence starting from 1. So this works obviously. F of 3 is 1, so 1 plus 1 would give us f of 4, which is 2. F of 5 is 3, so this one would be this one would be 3 minus 1, so f of 2 plus f of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. F of 4, okay. Makes sense. I guess it doesn't matter whether the sequence starts from 0 or 1. Works both ways. Unless it starts from 1, which makes this as 3, f of 3. So f of n minus 1 would be this plus this. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yo, I just sent you a reel. I stopped. I guess you guys are talking to each other. Does this work for what? You sent str of I plus str of I minus 1. I have not read the whole problem yet. I'm just looking at the formula. So it might work. Are you talking about this problem? Wait, let me just move to the problem. Alright, I'll read the problem. I haven't read the problem yet. Provided n, you have to find out nth knock or handle edge cases like indexing starts from 1. This starts from 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this indexing starts from 1. So if we give it 6, it should calculate. Okay, that's simple. Wait, that is. I guess just plugging this would give us the answer. Right? Plugging that would give us the answer if we have a list containing the Fibonacci series already. If we don't, then we need to well, never mind. I guess we have to do this problem in Leetcode. Is it there in Leetcode? Is it there in Leetcode and are you done with it? Are you done with the problem? Fuck. There's a problem there in Leetcode. All right. I think either we need to have a for loop or something that constructs Fibonacci sequence. Nah, man. I mean, you can do it parallelly and throw answers in the chat if you want to, but how to solve a problem first? What do you mean, bro? We just look at it and then bang our heads until we solve the problem. Do you just start writing loops and figure out? Cool, do it with me. Do you just start writing loops and figure out? I asked the same, I think I asked a similar question to Karthik Mani. So he said, it's better if you just narrate it in your head while solving the problem. Similar to how I'm streaming and solving the problem. Because this way, the one of the major common mistakes that people make in interviews, I heard from him, is them not communicating to the interviewer. So they just write the code, they just stay on mute. They don't talk to the interviewer. They just quickly write the code and then tell him the answer. Whereas the opposite is what is expected out of us. We should narrate our process. Karthik Buff or Karthik AI Professor? No. There's another guy called Karthik Manikandan. We did cloud computing course together. And he went for a 3-month internship to Tokyo. Actually, on site, Tokyo. He did his internship with Mercury. It's one of the biggest firms. So yeah, he said we gotta practice narrating and doing it, or understand the approach and then code in the end. Think of Tokyo, man. Heyman, think of the approach and just brute force it. Don't just think of the outline and then start writing the code. Nth Fibonacci. I can't find it, man. Do you have the number, Leetcode number, problem number for this? This is Leetcode. Popsicle, this is Leetcode. Hemant, do you have the problem number? Also, if you want to sleep, you can. Never seen her. 509. Never seen whom, man? Karthik. Oh, it's the same shit. Alright, that's cool. I think we can have a for loop. We can construct a Fibonacci, append all the output to a list, and then use that list to calculate. But what we do is we every time use the n value to print the Fibonacci sequence so that it's efficient. But for that, we need to know how to print Fibonacci. I don't know if that's the efficient solution, but that's the thing that I can think out of the top of my head. So let me just try doing a Fibonacci. Does it start from 1 or 0? It starts from 0. All right, so we need to. What do you think, Hemant? What do you think the approach should be? What I think is, what I want to try is to print the sequence for the n we get, and then get the list, and then use the n to find the answer. What do you guys think? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. For I in range 0 to n, because it needs to cycle through, we need to print the first value anyways. So before starting, let's just print print 0, or let's have first value and second value. So let's have first equal to 0, and we'll print first. So this way 0 gets printed, and we have the first value as a variable. So for I in range 0 to n, I've already printed the first. What I'll do is, let's say I have something like result that I print. Maybe we need to have two values instead of one, because we need to add, and we only have one value. So let's have first equal to 0, second equal to 1. So we print the first and the second value, and then we keep using this to print the sequence. So we have printed 0, we have printed 1. Now the loop is at I equal to 0. The result would be first plus second. So now printing this would give us 1 again. But when the loop hits 1, we need to update the first and the second value. Because in the loop, because we're not updating the first and the second value. So I'll print it, or I'll just update it here. So my new result my second becomes my new result, and my first becomes my second. So assuming I get this from this and this, result would be 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. And then my second, which is 1, gets the value of this. And my first now has the value of this. So when the second iteration happens, it should print 2. Okay, let's assume n to be 10. And this should work. 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. Interesting. Alright. Funnily enough, it prints squares of 2, like 2 square and 2 cube and 2 to the power 4. So where am I making the mistake? So for the first iteration, I print 0 and 1. It enters. Result is equal to first plus second. So 0 plus 1 would be 1. And my second, which initially had the value of 1, would now have the value of this, which is 1 again. My first would get the value of... Okay, so the first iteration works perfectly. What happens in the second iteration? I becomes 1. We are not using I, so we don't need to worry about it. The result becomes first plus second. First is 1. So it becomes 2. And now second becomes result. So second becomes 2. first becomes second. Got it. So I know what the error is. I should update first before I update the second, because if I do it in this order, updating second first and then first later, because second obtains the value of result, first would also obtain the value of result. But we don't want that to happen. We want to update first before second. So first equal to second. Let's just give it a shot. Works. Did you do it any other way? Is there any other way to print the Fibonacci sequence? Hemant, did you get any other way to print Fibonacci? No, okay. But I hope you get this, man. My solution. We thought of the same. Nice. Now all we just need to do is append this. We need to fix this value, because I guess it prints 10. 1, 2, 3. I'll think of a different one. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it should be n minus 2. Because we are printing first and the second one already. First and the second sequence already. Three, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. We printed 10 Fibonacci values. Now every time we get the value, instead of printing, we append it to the list. We append to a list. So we have something like list equal to empty list dot append of first I'll just make sure the list works. Flip. Cool. It prints the values in a list. So instead of printing, I just append it to the list. List.append. So now, oh my god, I've completely forgotten computer science. Are you watching the stream, or you're making that statement in general? Are you telling it with regards to whatever problem I'm doing here? Nice. We have the Fibonacci in the list. I can't even remember how to do Fibonacci. You don't need to remember, man. I forgot as well. I just made it right now. You don't need to remember. Oh, I was trying Fibonacci myself. Do it. Do it yourself. We now have it in the list. What do we have to do? Do this calculation. Very interesting. Cool. We'll get an input statement. And because inputs statements fetches strings. Nice. Lol. So now we have n values. So if n is 5, 3, 4, 5, indexing should start with 1 as mentioned in the question. My last value of my list should end with 3. Is it ending in 3? Hemant, you can go sleep, man, if you feel tired. Not coming tomorrow. Okay, cool. Oh, flip. Doesn't work. Keyboard doesn't work. Oh, wait. Huh? I can't type anything. Just go to programmers. Rashid, when are you sleeping? Cool. All right. If n is 2, I sleep pretty late. All right. Oh, the list is done. The list is done. We just need to figure out this calculation and then it'll be over. We've got the formula for it. So just replace that with list index value. I guess it's done. It's done. So we have our list. What we have to do is we got a print. We'll directly print list of n minus 1 plus list of n minus 2. Or it should not, it should be square brackets. Oh, flip. So if I say I want what is at my 5th element, it should give me 3. Doesn't give me 3, it gives me 5. List of 5 minus 1 is 4. List of 4. Okay. Because, okay, the index value should start from, it's starting with 1 based indexing rather than 0 based indexing. So it should be n minus 2 and n minus 3. Now does it work? It does. Are you guys done with the problem? I got one solution here. I guess this is a brute force approach. This should work. It does work. So if I say I want what is it, the 6th element, it should give me 5. Okay. I want the 7th element, it should give me 8. It does. You guys done with the problem? Alright, now time to convert this into, change this into return statements and then we're done here. Oh, flip. Indentations. I don't think we even need to do this. We don't need this. We already have n. We don't need to print the list. We do need to print the output. Now, does it work? Moment of truth. Runtime error. None is not a value. Huh. The logic is right. Some error with the indentation, maybe. I don't even know. None is not a value in the return type integer. Line 44. I don't have line 44. The heck? Not supported between instances of int and. It's not a logic error for sure. It's some error with how the data type is getting handled. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 10 minutes. Nice. None is not valid value for the expected return. Show code. There's a code in. You want the VS Code one or the programmers? This is the programmers code. So I'll just pop it here. This is the code. None is not valid value for the expected return type integer. Does it ask us to return? Wrong answer. Input and input to 3. Expected. One moment. are you guys doing the problem by yourself and did you arrive at the same error? I can just plug it into the internet and then find the answer. But now it has went from a return error to a logic error. Don't. Cool. N equal to 3, input n equal to 3. Hemant, you can copy the same code and then try it out, man. You guys can maybe use screenshot it and then okay, cool. Or you can just screenshot it, put it into Google Lens and then or some OCR and get the code, try it yourself. Input n equal to 3. My output should be 1. Oh, my output is 1. It expects 2. Why does it expect 2? This must be the error. That means the sequence is not starting from 0, it's starting from 1. So if we make this change, expected 1 to 3, what? Oh wait, so was I right in the first place? If my input is 3, it's giving me 1. It shouldn't give me 1. If my input is 3, 1, 2, 3. No, man, it's very bullshit. What do you mean, bruv? It's almost as if they want us, for the case 1, they want us to have the sequence starting with 0. But for the case 2, it almost looks like they want us to start from 1. One and one, what do you mean? Bro. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean 1 and 1? They want us to start from 1. First and second should be 1. That's what I thought as well. That's the change that I made earlier. Just now. And it... Wait, look at this. Okay, oh. Yeah. Alright, I entered as 2. Oh, every other case except 1 works. Because they expect us to have f of 0 as 0, but at the same time for the rest of the cases, they want us to start with 1. It's pretty stupid. Pretty stupid. Yeah, but you're right, man. Yeah, I entered 2. I entered 2 instead of 1 here. That's the error. And but how do we account for this? I mean, we can just throw an if statement and be like if n equal to maybe an if statement. If n equal to 2, which is the least that we can get. I think they made a mistake. Yeah, they probably did. Or, I mean, if Leetcode has an error, it's probably already pointed out. Or we are missing something. But anyways, let's just brute force this for now. If n equal to 2. Let my list be 0, 1, 1. And and then I have a value here that says list of n minus 2. Nah, just list of this only accounts for n equal to 2. So we'll do n less than equal to 2. You have this list instead. Fuck it. So n minus, so 2 minus 2, 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 2. List of n minus 2. And then I directly return the value here. Now it should work. All the cases should run. It doesn't. List spelling mistake. Typo. It does work. Everything works. All the test cases run. Yeah. Do you think they made a mistake, Popsicle? I can submit this. Huh? Wait, new error. New error when I submit it. Index out of range. Okay, it's checking for n equal to 0 and then we are getting fucked because we have brute forced it for if n equal to 2. So we're getting fucked. Make this less than 2. For sure the question is wrong. Okay, 29 out of 39, 31 test cases passed. Now it will work. Less than or equal to. Alright, this is the best approach. Which one? You got a best approach, or are you telling the one on the screen is the best approach? The one on the screen. Oh, really? Surprising. Surprising I got the best approach. Yeah, it should work. It should work, but I'm sure there is optimized way to do it. Beats 79 percentile of people. Oh, sorry. Yeah, beats 79 percentile of people, but yeah, there is should be an optimized way to do it. Cool, man. I'm thinking, should I sleep or continue doing it? How many viewers do I have? I have one. I guess Rashid's out of the stream. And only one guy is watching. Since this comes under recursion topic, we gotta think of that. Oh, this does. Oh, alright. I think I can do one more, maybe. So we got this one done. For loops. It's a huge question for loops. In here, cool. So basically, man, Popsicle, we completed that problem. We solved the error and got an answer without looking at the editorial. But there is an optimized approach. Heyman says it's recursion. Yeah, I guess recursion is the optimized approach. But like I said, I guess I'll note it down. I'll note the problem down and we will revisit it a couple of days from now. I'm thinking, should I do another problem or should I just go to bed? Oh, not reading the article. Let's just go to the problem. Yeah, man, pretty cool. So, okay, if it's geek for geeks, it's mostly pass by reference and value. Input is, output should be 11 and 22. We need to know what is passed by reference and what is passed by value for this. Tomorrow will be a long day, yeah. Yeah, man. But this was fun. This was fun. Streaming was fun. Okay, we need to learn what is passed by reference and what is passed by value to do the problem. So we did about 5 problems. 6 if you include the first one. I guess I'll go to bed. Not because I feel sleepy, but just so I can maintain the sleep cycle. Yeah, man, I think it's a good, smarter decision to go to bed. This was fun. Today was fun. Peace, I guess. Yeah. I'm gonna have dinner. See you, boys. Cool. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, boys. Hope I continue this. I have a hunch that if I just continue whatever I've done today, we just like solve 3 or 4 problems per day. I think I would end up in a good place 7 months down the line. Thanks for tuning in, boys. Good night. Good night.